Despite going down 2-0 on the road, the Lakers have had some really bright spots in these Western Conference Finals. None brighter than 25-year-old mid-season trade acquisition Rui Hachimura, whose play on both ends of the floor has been huge for them throughout these playoffs. The Nuggets aren't a team that has a true vertical presence protecting the rim, and Rui exploited that by continuously attacking the basket at every opportunity. He's got a mismatch on the smaller Jamal Murray and faces up for an isolation, faking the mid-range jumper and using his size to just bully his way in close for 2 points. So this time when he has the size advantage over Bruce Brown, it's virtually the same thing, using a rocker step to beat him off the dribble, except Jokic slides down to take away that layup, opening up a dump off to AD, which results in free throws. Most of Rui's paint touches though come as a result of him quickly attacking off the catch. The ball gets swung to him in the corner, drawing a long closeout from Jeff Green, so he puts it on the deck, and Jokic has no answer for him down low. Here it is again, positioned one pass away on the wing. Reeves drives down the middle, drawing help at the nail from Aaron Gordon, and on the recovery, Rui finds an opening, using a pound dribble to set up 2 long strides around Murray for a layup. Bruce Brown sells out real hard on this one, actually leaving his feet on an up fake, and the baseline is wide open, so Rui attacks the middle before countering with a spin to get to a reverse finish. The reason he's drawing such aggressive closeouts in these spots is because of the absolutely ridiculous hot shooting run he's been on in these playoffs. Through 14 games, he's hit a scorching 54.5% of his threes, and although he's not thought of as a traditionally high volume shooter, this has earned more than enough respect from defenses for him to effectively space the floor. As Davis holds in the pinch post and seeks out Reeves as a cutter, it's Michael Porter Jr.'s job to protect the rim from any potential breakdowns. But when AD looks to Rui in the weak side corner, MPJ becomes a bit indecisive and unsure of whether or not he wants to make that rotation, resulting in a free 2 points for the Lakers. It's not just in the half court where he's been doing damage. With LeBron pushing down the middle, he goes wide to get the ball in open space, and with no rim protector down low, he's able to put his head down and attack baseline for another reverse layup. Off of a defensive rebound, notice how quickly he runs out, beating the entire Denver defense down the floor, which forces Jeff Green to intentionally foul to save a wide open finish. It's really deadly for a guy of that size to play with pace in the way he does, and when Jokic camps down low to protect the paint, Rui instead just steps into a little 18-foot jumper. This pull-up mid-range game is his bread and butter, doing a large chunk of his scoring throughout his 4 years in the NBA in that area of the floor. He's one of the game's better inside the arc jump shooters, this season taking 6 mid-range shots every 75 possessions, and hitting at a real solid 46% clip. And because he stands 6'8" with a 7'2" wingspan, his size gives him somewhat unlimited access to these looks, which makes him sort of a release valve. With just 5 seconds on the shot clock, the Lakers haven't really created anything to attack, so he isolates from the top of the key, attacking the middle before stopping on a dime to rise up over the top of his defender. This sort of 3-level scoring that's been on display throughout this conference finals run has left Rui with some pretty impressive scoring numbers, recording more than 20 points per 75 on an incredible 71% true shooting, which is 14% more efficient than what their opposing defenses normally allow. His ability to add this sort of scoring value away from the ball has left him an incredible fit next to stars like LeBron and AD. Of course, there's the shooting, but he can also serve as that athletic interior play finisher. Jokic comes up near the level of the screen, and LeBron makes the pocket pass, turning this possession into a 4-on-3. Rui wisely cuts baseline, where he's a big target who can catch and finish. He has some utility hanging around the dunker spot. In semi-transition, LeBron again moves it to AD, who draws Jokic to the ball, and one more pass leaves Rui with a pair of free throws. Here it is again, except this time they help from Dennis Schroeder's side to not give up that interior pass. And when a shot goes up, Rui uses his size to box out position, securing an offensive rebound and putting it right back up. When he's matched up against smaller players, he can seal post position deep in the paint. Jokic is up with AD in ball screen action with Gordon on Reeves, meaning it's Bruce Brown who's down low, which leads to an easy entry and quick dunk. Here's the exact same thing, except this time it's Jamal Murray, and off the catch, Christian Braun comes over to help, meaning that one more pass is a warm-up jumper from deep. Another way they've taken advantage of his skill set away from the ball has been as a screener. Brown steps out to Reeves for just a moment, which gives Rui a short roll opportunity, and again there's that aggression going at Jokic in the paint. Here's the exact same thing. Jeff Green comes up a bit too high, so Rui slips, getting the ball from AD and taking 2 extra dribbles to get under the basket for a high quality finish. This time Jokic is actually matched up with him, and that's a huge speed advantage, so instead of committing to the screen, he shoots backdoor for a lob over the top. He's been such a key part of their offense in a variety of ways, not just in this series, but in the playoffs as a whole, and he adds to that by also playing his role really well on the defensive side of the ball. Before we get into that, I want to give a quick shout out to Basketball Index for helping with this analysis. If you're not familiar with the site, they provide tons of statistical measurements, tools, and easily accessible graphics. They also offer various different talent grades, and through their player profiles tab I can easily compare them to other players around the league. Using Rui's one-on-one game as an example, on this page I'm presented with various metrics detailing his ability to create in isolation, along with how he stacks up against his peers. By signing up with the code VENUE30, you can get 30% off your first month subscription, so I'll leave a link in the description below for anyone interested. And with that being said, let's take a look at how Rui's been helping LA on defense. Of course, he's been the center of a key defensive adjustment, matching up with Nikola Jokic to keep AD near the paint as a roamer. And dare I say, he's done a really good job. This is typically a deep seal for the big man, but look at how hard he works to stay in front and not give up an easy entry pass, which instead results in a much lower percentage Jeff Green 3, where he then battles just as hard to keep Jokic off the glass. Here it is again, AD's on Murray, meaning there's not as much rim protection, but Rui doesn't let Jokic get that deep seal, forcing them to find offense elsewhere, which again leads to a more difficult outside shot. He's never going to outright stop the 2-time MVP, but if he can match up just well enough physically to make him work with AD protecting the paint, a lot of those routine reads get taken away. And when Jokic decides to work in the mid-range and use his size to get the ball up over Rui, that 7'2" wingspan works wonders for his ability to smother these looks. The big thing though is offering just enough resistance to maximize Davis. He slides in front of Jokic to force him into an outside driving angle where the defensive anchor is waiting, which leads to a turnover. This time he's put in some ball screen action and positions himself to take away Murray's drive. And although he bites on the pivot work, guess who's behind him, ready to save the day? I also think he's had some really good possessions when not matched up with Jokic. Murray rejects the 2-man game and beats his man on a sharp cut, so Rui quickly slides down to the paint to save a layup, and instead concedes a jumper from one of Denver's weaker shooters. This time he's on Gordon as they run a little give and go handoff action, and makes an incredible rotation to swat a finish off the glass. His length and athleticism allow him to protect the rim as a second or third guy like this at a pretty high level. In these playoffs, he's contested 54 shots within 6 feet of the basket, and players are shooting more than 18% worse than their expected percentage on those looks. And while a lot of that has to do with AD next to him, he still deserves a lot of credit for what he's done on the back line. So, you have a versatile 6'8" forward who can do quite a few things defensively, and has been scorching hot from all 3 levels as a scorer on the other end, and doesn't take anything off the table from others, rarely makes errors, and can serve as a release valve for struggling offense. making him a really good role player and the Lakers' X factor as they look to make a finals push. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to drop a like, subscribe, and turn my post notifications on to be first on more content. If you're interested in my more in-depth research, make sure to check out my website and social media profiles. You can find those links in the description. Feel free to let me know down in the comments what you think of Rui and what your predictions are for the rest of this series. As always, I hope you all have a great day, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.